at the Children's Dream Awards, it goes to show you that you're never too young or too small to follow your dreams. In Los Angeles, I'm Jenna Contreras for Valley View News. From pitching, batting, fielding, and catching, these young athletes are learning what it takes to make it in the bigs. We are moments away from kickoff at the Steel Pit. Let's go ahead and go on to Diego Santiago, who's at a Packers-only party. Diego? Today marks 1 week of Occupy Los Angeles. Now protesters are still camping on the lawn of City Hall and holding signs like this one, all in the name of change. With no sign of the NFL lockout coming to an end, some NFL stars are choosing different sports to play. The process of gummy bears being soaked in alcohol could be happening in your kitchen. Teens first start by soaking the gummy bears in a bowl of vodka for about a week. Once the alcohol is absorbed by the gummy bears, teens can take them to school in plastic baggies and get drunk while eating them in plain sight. Jared made his debut in fighting in 2006 and his UFC debut in 2009. He has won 2 Fight of the Night honors and his record is currently 12-3 with 9 knockouts, 2 by submission and 1 by decision. Super Bowl 45 marks the Steelers' 8th trip to the Super Bowl and the Green Bay Packers' 5th. This is, however, the first time the two defensive powerhouses will meet in the Super Bowl.
And that's why it's called mixed martial arts.
Jared Hammond is a mixed martial arts fighter. He is in the light heavyweight division for the Ultimate Fighting Championship. The UFC combines elements of MMA. Jared says there are 3 levels of game during every fight, and a different type of MMA is used at each one.
Stand-up is kickboxing, boxing, taekwondo, stuff like that. The middle game is like a clinch game, stuff like maybe Greco-Roman wrestling, which is like a clinch wrestling and whatnot. And then in the ground, there's obviously wrestling. We train in all those.
Jared must know all forms of MMA, but admits he has one method of fighting he uses the most.
I like to kickbox. For me, I just like to hit things and be aggressive and whatnot. That's just my style, my mindset.
Although UFC is a contact sport, Jared says the chances of getting injured in the octagon are no different than in any other sport.
I think it's relatively safe. You do get a bunch of bruises and nicks and bumps, but it's all relative. Like, you don't get seriously injured that much. It's possible, but I mean, that's possible in any sport.
Jared made his debut in fighting in 2006 and his UFC debut in 2009. He has won 2 Fight of the Night honors and his record is currently 12-3 with 9 knockouts, 2 by submission and 1 by decision. He anticipates a long, successful career and hopes his image will have a positive impact on the reputation of UFC.
It's got a bad rap because of the past. The kids can see, like, I'm not some punk, I'm not some crazy guy going wild, I'm not talking smack, I'm not, I'm trying to exude a professional example to these kids so they can follow that same thing. He
may be a fierce competitor that can do some damage, but Jared says he does it all to be a good role model.
Whether you like it or not, you're always influencing somebody, whether in a good way or a bad way. And as an MMA athlete, professional athlete on the highest level, that's our duty to do. It's a responsibility.
At the VMAT Gym in El Segundo, I'm Jenna Contreras for Valley View News. Air traffic controllers will now be required to get 9 hours of sleep between shifts. Supervisors will also have to work more overnight hours. This comes after the latest incident when a pilot had to land in Reno, Nevada without any help because an air traffic controller was asleep at his post.
They're not answering the phone line either. We're going to need to land. Landing will be at your own risk.
This is the 7th time a controller has been found sleeping on the job since the start of the year. Florida Congressman John Mecca says the issue isn't how many controllers are employed, but how they are used.
Air traffic controllers who make on average $163,000 a piece are professionals, but even the best professionals need some recurrent training.
Last week, FAA officials toured the country visiting controllers to hear their concerns. A Dodger legend has died. Hall of Fame center fielder Duke Snider was 84 years old. He reportedly died of natural causes. Snider played for the Brooklyn Dodgers from 1947 to 1957. He continued his career as a Dodger in Los Angeles until 1962. Snider was often regarded as the 3rd best center fielder of his time, behind Willie Mays of the Giants and Mickey Mantle of the Yankees. Snider's legacy will continue to live on. He leads the Dodgers franchise in home runs and RBIs. The Cincinnati Bengals lose again. The Pittsburgh Steelers handed the Bengals another loss during Monday Night Football. It was a blowout game until the fourth quarter when both teams stepped up their offense. Antoine Randall L. threw a 39-yard touchdown pass off of a trick play to Mike Wallace to give the Pittsburgh Steelers a 27-7 lead in the fourth quarter. But the Bengals managed to fight back with a touchdown by Terrell Owens and taking out that guy. They drove to the Steelers' 12-yard line before Jordan Shipley had the ball stripped away in the fourth down play. The Steelers held on to the win 27-21. The Bengals fall to 2-6 and the Steelers rise to 6-2.